What's up, everybody? Let me get some light in here. Just got back in. I've been gone since Saturday morning. Went out to Hood Canal, Belfair area. Helped my mom with she has a little cabin out there, but she mostly stays in Brooklyn, New York. But they've had this cabin in the family for a while. But they have been there for a long time, visit as often. So we did. It was like between 10 and 12-hour work days. I don't know if you can see the scratch marks on my arms. I was sticker bush removal. I had to do weed eat. I had to get rid of an old truck, an old boat that was all rusted out. Because their back deck goes out onto like this little plank and then to a little small deck, and then we got like a little dinghy out there, and then an old school bay liner, probably from the 70s or 60s, all covered in moss, had to go. I had to help pressure wash the driveway and the steps. Everything was covered in moss, sticker bushes, or weeds, and overgrown grass. And I helped my mom do that. She's in almost 70, so and I had extra time. I did it for free. She bought food and stuff, and bought me a couple beers. I didn't really feel like drinking. How you just smoke my herbs out there? She's like, "Oh, you can smoke in the house and stuff." But I was like, "Mom, the one I want to smoke right now is really potent. You'll smell it 2 days from now." I brought me a distillate pen by a company called Crystal Clear. Pink cookies, indica, 93% or 91%, something like that, THC. But yeah, I was using that just to not offend her, even though she smokes every now and then. The neighbors, all the people, all the old folks out there either smoke or grow. It's just all these little properties. There's a lot of double wides and single wides out there because property's so expensive. After people buy it, they all they can afford is to buy some small, or they'll take a mobile trailer, and unhitch it from the truck and park it there and have that as their little summer getaway, weekend getaway. Or a lot of people have been permanently living out there. There's been a big crowd out there since COVID, so that was issues going up and down North Shore Road, which is a road that usually takes about 40 minutes. I mean, if you're driving crazy, you could probably do it in 20 minutes, like driving at the age of 30 and under type. Anyway, yeah, I had fun. The weather was great. It was hot. I don't know if it doesn't really show in this slide, but I darkened up a little bit. I should have darkened up more, but I had the hat on, and then I had like a beanie on to keep my, keep my hair from really sweating, keeping the sweat out of my eyes is what I didn't meant to say. But my mom found this cool Hawaiian hat from Hawaii. It says, "The Life." And then it's got the Hawaiian Islands on the side. It's not quarter Hawaiian. My mom's half. And Hawaiian flag. And lived a life. So pretty cool. She pulled it out and it was like, "Oh yeah, perfect hat. Awesome. Thanks, Mom." She's cool. She's an old hippie. I'll show you some old pictures of, like she was a real true old school hippie. Like some people, she's got all the pictures and documents to like show her back in her days, and the trend and the nostalgia of what they wore back then. And she said it showed her and her buddy smoking joints, getting ready to watch what was that old show, man, from back in the days in the 60s, something theater, late night theater or something. I think it was sci-fi mixed with horror, mixed with whatever. So on that line, stuff shows like that, and they'd sit around and do that. And I was like, wow, that's what I do, smoke urban and I watch weird stuff. Unless I'm on here, you can't get enough weirdness. Or actually, I shouldn't say that. Everybody here's got their own personalities. Can't mock them for that, I guess. But I hope everybody enjoyed their 4th of July. Me, all I did was I was so tired that that the fireworks wouldn't even keep me awake. Around the neighbors, I mean, they're not supposed to be blowing them off and stuff, but they didn't even keep me awake. I just, I have to sleep with earplugs in and the whole 9 yards. And as soon as my head hit that couch, I was out. I didn't even take any one of my sleeping meds or any one of my Klonopins or Xanax at all. I wasn't taking them much this weekend because I wanted to have a more clear head, but I was really anxious. So I finally got a little bit in me. So that's why I'm a little anxious now because I didn't take my Klonopin or Xanax. I took my Zyprexa and stuff, but yeah. I will discuss one day on a show exactly what I have, but basically the list is PTSD, high anxiety, and depression, which a lot of people have. I got OCD, I got ADHD, I have what's called HPPD, or you can call it post hallucinogenic perception disorder, or permanency tracers. Some people have that. But I get full-on flashbacks where reality is just not there, and it's not like a schizophrenic thing. I take a med that is for antipsychotic at night. I only take half one, but it's for racing thoughts too. So they give it to me for racing thoughts and to help me sleep, because sleepers usually don't work for me, like Seroquels and Rembrons and things like that. They give me RLS, restless leg syndrome. My legs ache all through the night, twitch and all that. I have tardive dyskinesia, where my hands kind of move, like especially this left hand. I'll walk down the street and it's kind of behind me and it does this, and I don't even notice that. And the reason I know it does this is my girl and a few of my friends were like, yeah, you're getting that. Yeah, that's just a side effect from the meds. It's starting to come around from a lot of the serotonin meds that are out there as tardive dyskinesia. But yeah, that's what that's my list of stuff, and that's not including the pain from the 3.5, well, it was almost 3.5, but over 30 feet fall where I shattered my heel, ruptured part of my stomach a little bit. I mean, it's not show, you can't see it, but my stomach, like, I threw up from it, it's like, it just ruptured, I did everything but shit my pants. I pissed my pants. My legs were black and blue. My whole body was black and blue. It was one bruise, like 70% of me is one bruise. And where I fell was in Seattle. If you go through downtown Seattle, there's these side barrier walls that go through Freeway Park. And it was a long story short, I was intentionally trying to jump off this to avoid a very bad situation, and I didn't know how far down it was. I didn't know where it was. It's 4 a.m, July 7th, 2016. I remember it like whatever, and then so I jumped, and as soon as I hit the ground, because I kept going, I'm like, oh no, like it was in slow motion, but it was still, still normal, and I just kept going and going. I hit the ground, and I was in such pain because my left heel hit first, and it shattered into 5 pieces, and then my Achilles tendon followed, and then that was really bad. And then I couldn't crawl, I couldn't walk. I could crawl, but I could only crawl my kneecaps. I couldn't if I let either one of my feet touch the ground, it was such searing bad pain. But right when I hit the ground, a car went right by my head, and I remember almost smelling the dead bugs coming off of the headlights of this car. It was 6 inches, maybe 4 inches from my face. So I almost got my head taken off. as I'm coming off this cliff, I will tell you later the reason why I had to do this evasive maneuver. I would end up really dead for sure, 100%. If I didn't. But so yeah, and then I crawled to Olive Way exit. So if I told you where Freeway Park is, in the distance to Olive Way exit, and if you know Seattle, you'd be like, what? Whoa, wow. So I did it all on my hands, and then I had my knees, and then I had my back legs bent upwards with my feet basically touching my ass cheeks because I didn't want them touching the ground. And it was, every step is excruciating till finally a couple cops came up, not just any cops. It was Homeland Security in their SUV. It was two SUVs because obviously somebody called it in and they wanted to see why guys, because it took me 45 minutes just to get within eyesight of Olive Way exit. So 45 minutes, you're going to get plenty of calls of a guy on the side of the freeway crawling on his hands and knees. Sooner or later, you're going to get a call, and I guess the closest unit, or if that's their department or what, usually I thought it would be Washington State Patrol, but it was Department of Homeland Security. So they got me an ambulance and everything. It was great. They were really nice. I had a warrant then too. They didn't run my name or nothing. They just wanted to make sure I got to the hospital. They said how bad a condition I was. I lost 3/4 of an inch of my own height too. I got many fractures in my spine. I mean, all of us get many fractures in our spine due to gravity and time, and here on Earth. But yeah, that was bad. They got me in the ambulance. I got there, and I was really argumentative. It was like I was already taking my meds, and then when I'm on Xanax. That's the reason why I don't really like taking them. They kind of make me mean. I'm in the middle of trying to get off them. They made me mean, and I already had alcohol in my system. And then when I got to the hospital, I'm like, they started putting like the fentanyl and the Demerol in there, and it made a bad cocktail. I was just yelling at every nurse and doctor and everything. So what they ended up, all said and done, they put me in a half cast and sent me on my way in a wheelchair, show up to physical therapy, and they were writing me, I don't know, the math was 7 times 4, that'd be 28 5 milligram oxycodones to take four of them a day for a week. Every week I got a week's worth to take 4 a day, and then they doubled it because it wasn't hitting the pain, those little things. But as long as I show up for physical therapy, they write the meds. You don't show up, you don't get your meds. So, and I didn't really need them out of all of them. But yeah, and then it healed. I got put in one of those walking casts after a while, but I was in a wheelchair for the first month because I couldn't even do crutches. My arms, everything, the vibration and shock wave that was sent through my body from that fall had done a lot of damage on my joints and shoulders. It really did a number on me. And it really does a number on a lot of people. Like when you a lot of people that still live from high falls, or that there's a lot of damage that goes on in the body that you don't know about. I'm lucky my eyeballs didn't pop out of my head and things like that, or all the my lungs. I'm lucky my lungs didn't collapse or sternum breaking off into my lungs, just things like that. It's my first ever broken bone, but no surgery. The bone ended up, it's called a calcaneal bone. It's your heel bone, points out. But it was in 5 pieces on the x-ray, and it healed on itself after a couple months. I was in a wheelchair for a month. I started getting strong, started noticing some shoulder gains from pushing myself around in the wheelchair. And then I was able to get more strength to get crutches. And I didn't like people pushing me in the wheelchair either, because I wanted to get the strength to be strong in my upper body, and then the wheelchair or the crutches too. Anyway, I'm just rambling on. I'm waiting for baby's mom to come up and pick some money up for me, and then I'm gonna smoke a J and Probably turn in a little early. I picked up my baseball card collection out of the storage, just a small half of it that I could find. I can only find half of it, but I've got a lot. I got Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. rookie cards. I got like 10 alone just of Ken Griffey Sr. His I don't think his rookie cards, but they were back when he was playing for, was it the Reds? I think, can't remember. I don't know baseball very well. These cards were handed down, and I'm gonna go through them. But there's a lot of Gold Cup Rookie of the Year, Ken Griffey Juniors, Jay Buners, all the whole '90s Mariner team is in there in good condition. Because I remember I started putting in plastic, and half of what's there now is in binders. So, and then I've got like role-playing cards like Magic the Gathering Expert Series from 2005, and they had a magazine they still have it. I think it's called Inquest. Oh, I know it's called Inquest, but I think they still have it. They should. It talks about role-play games and things like that. I never played Magic either. I just collected cards because I like the artwork. But come find out that on the cover of the top 10 most wanted cards out of that series, the Expert Series, I had number 1, number 2, and it's either 6 or 5. So that was pretty cool. I want to pass it down to my daughter. My youngest daughter and the oldest daughter, they both deserve it. Both came from Grandpa. So anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. I see one person on here, and I don't want to bore them. I don't want to bore you to death. But whoever that one person is, have a nice evening. All right, what time is it? Have a nice afternoon. And I'll try to do more videos and stuff. I'm feeling a little better. It was fun I've never used an electric weed whacker. I didn't know they came in electric. Everything's electric now. My mom bought one, and because it was cheaper too, and it was 2,300 psi, which is really low. And I'm like, oh, this does a trick. Did the trick, though, you guys. So I'm used to gas, straight gas pressure washers and 5,000 plus psi, or at least 3,000 or 4,000 psi. Anyway, had fun with it. I showed her how to put it together, showed her how to hose in, hose out. To start, it's just one button. looks like just the same kind of button you would have on your computer or something, It's sort of those sort of anyway, I'm rambling, but yeah. And then I showed her the nozzle tips, like the soap tip, and then the nozzle tip. Told her that for electric, I found out by reading, don't hook an extension cord up to the cord that's already there, because the cord that's already there is easily 100 feet, and then the hose is easily 100 feet. So she should be able to get all that. They have to get the back deck replaced. The last people contractors, they did a crappy job on it, and my nephew, Jack, fell through it. Poor little guy. Well, he's not a little guy, he's a big guy, teenager, but he fell through it. So my 220-pound buttocks could not walk on that. But my mom was light enough. My mom was like 109, so she was walking around. There's sugar bushes going through it. I had to take down 2 trees, a very, very nice madrona. It was only, let me see, what's that height? That height there's about 9 feet. So it was about 9 feet madrona. Biggest per stock was like that. It was very beautiful, growing in nice, but we had to take it out because it was growing in under the deck. And when they go to build the new deck, they didn't put any sealant on the wood or nothing. They just left it as it is. So when you look at the deck, it looks like just a bunch of busted old oars. It's just like, it's bad. It's very terrible. It's brittle wood. A small child could fall through it. a toddler. You bounce a ball in it, So my mom ran on the edges and did that. And then I took down. Wait, no, I did 3 trees because the third one is smaller, but there were little pines that stood about 5.5 feet. Hey, that one was growing through the steps, so I had to get under there with a bow saw because that's the only saw we had for cutting. We didn't have any electrical tool. We did have electrical tools, but they're buried out in another storage unit that's on the other side of the water. And so, or else we would have used electrical cutters, electrical chain. I know he's got electrical chainsaw. They use electrical stuff, even a gas one. But I had to just bow saws, all you gotta do is just get the groove in there, a couple of swipes, and once you got the groove, boom. Things done in a few swipes with those type of teeth on it. And then I did that. But I had to get it was the angle that I had to get under there, and that's how this arm got so destroyed. I don't know if you can see it. Attacked by a mountain lion. It's everywhere. Over here you can't really see it through there, but this is where I got the most thorns that were just like sticking out. I didn't even notice it either. I go to look at my arm and went to wipe sweat off my head, and there was a thorn there. Like, ow, that hurt my head. And I go to look down, and it's sticking out, and there was one there and one there. But I had fun though, helping my mom out, and and then just having fun, just being outdoors, instead of sitting around on the computer, growing out hair for the COVID or whatever. I went and helped my mom. I don't get to see her that often. She doesn't come too much since they had when work wasn't too good over here. They went to Brooklyn or New York, but went to the cheaper spot they could find in New York just to get work. So anyway, thanks for listening. Sorry I rambled on about nothing really. I just catching you guys up. Hope you guys all have a great day. And I'm over and out. This is Lucky One or Lucky Strikes or Lucky One, 2-0 Sickness, whatever you want. From the 2-0 Sickness, whatever. But this is me, and I am out of here, and I will talk to you guys later.